All right, testing. There we go. Audio's finally back.
Big news! Find new lower prices at Amazon Fresh. Every aisle, every day. Plus, Prime members get free delivery on your first 3 online orders now through June 30th.
Everybody hear me
Terms
okay?
apply. Click or tap the banner to shop online at Amazon Fresh.
Take your jeans, take mine off me. Oh, girl, I can't take no more. I'm going with
You hear an ad? That's the important part.
Would you put those keys? We can share one seat. We can share one seat. And I lay in the back in the silence room with the windows rolled down. But don't make me choose. And I lay in the back.
What up? What up? What up?
What's up?
But don't make me choose.
Not too much. Sounds a little off today. I think my OBS updated without my consent,
Ah,
and because of that, it is stuck in this like limbo state that I don't
Yep.
quite know how to fix. Which I'm trying
dun, dun, dun. Dude, I was watching the Protect Our Parks from Joe Rogan.
to. Okay.
It's the one he does with Gillis,
Yep.
and they're getting to the end, and they're all drunk or high on something,
Yep.
by the end of every episode of those. And he's sitting there and he goes, I gotta grab my eggs real quick as well. But he's sitting there and they go, okay, play Enter Sandman for this Virginia Tech game. And Joe Rogan does like none of this stuff. So he's like, is this like a good team? And he goes, no, this is a mediocre team that just enters to Enter Sandman and it goes crazy every year. Nobody wants to play them because they're mediocre and they know they're going to get beat. And he's playing it and Shane goes, do you see how great this is? He's like, this is why people trek to this country. Still, to this day, this is why people are walking in here trying to get to America. He's like, listen to this. This is football. This is what we do. And he's like, and it was just killing me. Like, they're all just sitting there like, this is actually kind of sick. And he's like, now go watch Michigan try to enter Ohio State. It was just killing me.
Jesus.
Them talking about like all the crazy sports places, that people try to enter. And I was just like, that is something you don't think about a ton, how great sports can be. I know every country has crazy sports, but just like college football is like a different breed.
It truly is like the peak American sport. Like I don't.
Oh,
think
yeah,
there'll-
for sure.
I don't know. Like as much as we love the NBA and everything else, like I don't know if there'll ever be anything that tops it.
No, not even this. I don't think the Super Bowl is more popular, but I don't think the like energy matches what is happening in a college football. Like honestly, in a college football regular season game, like to open the year, an opening year game is just different. Like week 1 college football is like the most psychopathic thing I think American sports has. Which I know is going to take time because what is it?
Sorry, I'm just getting all the links prepped.
Oh. No, I was just saying it'll take a lot of time though still
Yeah.
for college football to be back. But I'm just sitting here thinking, oh, I can't wait. That week 1 is just gonna be beautiful again.
I'm excited to see how we do this year. We're in a very unique position, assuming Lagway remains healthy. But
You are.
you never know with young QBs. Sometimes they look like they're going to be healthy, and then all of a sudden it takes one hit, and your entire season's done, just like that. And that's
And
terrifying.
man, some of those defenses are just psychotically good out there.
Especially in the SEC.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that is killing me. That is the funniest part is everybody being like, we think Georgia's going to have a down year because their offense is down. But we have no clue. Like, it could not be a down year at all. It could just so happen that their defense comes out and just does what their defense does and carries them through for
Could.
12 games. And I was like, well, we'll see. Kirby's not been to the promised land for 2 years now, so he's got to step up.
Why is the default audio on this so weird? I don't know why. I don't know why this is acting this way. Like Discord pops up as like a small little thing on my like that Discord video shit pops up on the side of my OBS as well. This thing is weird. But how you feeling? Teams at 1-1?
Pretty stinking good. I mean, we
You going tomorrow night, I'm assuming?
legitimately.
Is tomorrow night the night that you got tickets? Or are you
No,
going game
no.
four?
I'm not going anymore. They were. Did I not tell you the price?
No.
I got into the pre-sale. I had a link, and it was $800 for a nosebleed. And I was just like, bruh, if I'm gonna have a worse view than my TV, I ain't paying $800. If it was 500, 400, maybe, you know?
Yeah, but it's the atmosphere. And you never know. I mean, you guys might get it again next year, so it's like I get that you can afford to hold off realistically, but
Yeah, I also just I don't know if there will ever be a day where I'm willing to spend $800.
yeah.
Like that's just so much money
I
for
mean,
a sports game.
I'll be
That's
honest
2
with you.
tickets to Disney World. It's a lot of.
It is. There are certain things though that I would pay that 800 for. If you
Yeah.
told me today that Tiger Woods is going to play one final round at Augusta, like one final time at the Masters, and he's there only Thursday, Friday, I'm paying 800 for that ticket if I have 800 to spend. Simple as that. Now, I'd imagine that ticket's going way above 800 for that. But there are certain things that I would definitely pay for, that being one of them.
Yeah, and the tickets are dropping, so we'll see.
Yeah.
If they get to where I want them to be, then I'm gonna go.
Yeah, pull the trigger last minute tomorrow as like people sell off and tried to make their money and didn't.
Yep.
What's your ceiling tomorrow? Viking Super Bowl tickets? No, I would not pay for Viking Super Bowl tickets. I know how expensive Super Bowl tickets are. It's never happening, period.
I think my ceiling is gonna be in the 500, which it's already getting to.
Yeah,
It's close.
I think you'll probably get there. But never know.
We're getting very close.
How you
And if
feeling about
500 hits, I'm going.
How you feeling about the series though? Okay.
I feel
iffy?
fine. We split. I feel more than fine. And Hallie started shooting well at the end of the game, finding his form, kind of finding his flow, like accepting he doesn't have to be perfect. He can just do his thing. Honestly, I'm like kind of right where I'm at.
Oh, sorry. I know we both just saw that comment. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck?
That's one of my friends.
I know. I figured so. That's why.
Okay.
If it wasn't, I know you would be like sitting here weird, like kind of not freaked out, but like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
but no, I think we'll be cool, to be honest. Like they I'm not really worried about how it went down. I know some people were like, "See, we told you this should have happened in both games, but it only happened in the next game." And I'm like, "Yeah, but every argument they're making for why the Pacers won their game is like they're acting like that's strengths for the Thunder, but it's weaknesses for the Pacers." Like Aaron Wiggins having 20 points is like, "Come on, bro, he ain't going to have 20 points again." So I'm not worried about that. And they're like, "Well, Obi Toppin won't have 20 points again or 17 points again. So we know you guys will fall off." But I'm sitting here like, and they're like, "Oh, and they have like 4 or 5 guys who can do that, who can get to 20 points." And I'm like, "We do too, bro. How you think we got there?"
Yep.
They're not like the only deep team who can play good defense and good offense at the same time. And everyone just keeps saying like, "Oh, it's not like the East is so weak. That's how you got there." It's like I really don't believe that because the East has been consistently winning championships the past 5 years. It's not like East teams get there and they're not ready for the moment. So we'll see.
Time will tell.
we'll see.
Your other team did quite well this weekend too, pulling
I
off
know.
the solid dub that we were all expecting. Somewhat, it was wild to see, like I don't know about you, but I got the feeling like around Thursday that you guys were
Yeah.
pretty locked to win this shit. Just because like when you, it's one of those things where it's like you know how connected people are in this space.
Mhm.
And the second you see like the die flipping and Dom flipping and like everybody else like starting to like really pull the other way, it's like, okay, they know something they're not telling us. They
Yep.
have to. Like there's no, you're like, whether it's scrim results or something else, you know something that you're not telling us, and the result is it's becoming way too predictable that this is no longer an upset. This is going to
Yep.
be a stomp one way or the other.
Yep. It was, to me, it was one of those, everybody thought that TL was going to fall off anyways. So they're going to say that like we did an upset, which is kind of nice. I don't hate that. But they're like, "Oh, it's not really an upset cuz you two are just both at the top of the mids." And like 100 Thieves fell apart, TL fell apart. But I was also sitting there like, "Yes, but we also got like we have gotten way better." Like way better. Like Fudge is getting way better, and people are mentioning it, so I'm not like too mad about it. Palafox stabilized, and it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, hey, low key, we're like actually looking good, and they're doing all the things that when I was saying like, hey, please, like we need to fix this roster, and these are all the positions I'd fix, to be honest, and like the only position safe is jungle. Like all the other guys are actually kind of stepping up. I mean, even the game 2 where I would say Bvoy, like, I mean, obviously Fudge carries that game,
Yeah.
but Bvoy looks not great in lane phase. Him and Seos do terrible. And they get out of it, they still had a massive impact the rest of the game. It felt like his Lucian, like, was a problem. They could not get on it. They were getting, like, poked out by it a lot. His Collings were hitting people almost the whole time. So, I'm not, like, super worried about it, I guess. Definitely not as worried as people want fans to be.
Okay, do you think you have a chance this weekend though? I guess
Yeah.
that's realistically the follow up. Like we're several days removed from TL getting stopped. We'll touch back on the UG shit in a second. But like, do you stand a chance against C9 or FlyQuest?
I would say C9, yes. FlyQuest, that's just going to be tough. I think C9 we can handle our own. C9's not like a world beater. So there's always a chance when you're playing them. Like C9 came back on FlyQuest, and their games were close, but we also had like close games with FlyQuest. And to be honest, with the massive throw we had, I think that tilted the team, and that's why we lost to Fly. Because there was a point where we had like a 7k gold lead on Fly, and if we're being real, I would say we handled our business against TL and 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Oh, I
We
mean,
didn't
you
look
beat
weaker.
us pretty bad.
Yeah, so, and we 3-1 TL, and it wasn't a close 3-1. I mean, the last game was 11k gold lead, pretty fast into it, so I don't feel like we're in this position where we're still needing to prove too much.
I will say,
think-
I think it inspires confidence if you guys can play it close against C9.
Mhm.
If C9 blows you guys out of the water, then we're in for a good finals, regardless. But there is this part of me that is a little bit worried that you're going to do exactly what we did last year, which is like, hey, we pulled off this massive upset over C9. For you guys, maybe not as much, as big of an upset. Now you go and you get stomped 0-3. Like the moment you get to finals weekend, it's just done. And like by all means, it could be great for finals, but like there's that worry for me that's like, this the Saturday matchup
Yeah.
might not be close.
Well, do you mean not close for
You guys.
Shopify at all?
Yeah.
Into them? I don't. To be honest, I'm not worried if we beat C9 that we're going to be comfortable like you guys did, because we haven't qualified. I think qualifying is what made you guys comfortable.
True. You're not wrong. Also,
Like
we fumbled on the big stage. Like after
yeah,
we beat C9, we go to like the final stage, which is different.
yeah. And this team is so weird because it's one of those teams where Palafox and Contracts, because I am on year 2 of watching them. This is just how they are. When they play up, they play way up for no apparent reason, and when they're in a slump, it is really just treacherous. But they can play up to beat anybody. I mean, they've legitimately played all of these people. I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, Masu and no, Busio was around then. So would it just be Masu who's the only one who wasn't around?
Well, Yawn came in at what, the beginning of, or no?
Thanatos and
No, Yawn
Loki are
was here
new
the year
too.
before. Yeah, Thanatos and Loki are. But I mean,
But
here's the
most
thing.
of these people they've experienced playing against and beating and winning a title against.
Not only that, but like the addition to that is that it looks like you're doing a line. It's like you just one over, just
A line of eggs.
The thing that I will give Shopify more credit for, that I don't, if it was in a stadium, I think it would mean a little bit more. But like, first finals weekend, really, for some of the C9 players. And there is this elevated kind of feeling and pressure moment to it that might not hit as hard, but I still think will have a little bit of an impact. And if you guys are comfortable, I mean, Fudge is one, Palafox is one, Contracts is one. Bevoy and Seos, maybe not so much. Maybe they're the one you look at and it's like, oh, that could be a problem. But I don't think Sven and Vulcan are going to be the ones to like really put pressure on a nervous bot lane on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And
I hope you guys compete. I really do.
there's a lot of people in this series who have won before. Like, I would say everybody has really. I mean, Seos has won in Brazil, which is arguably a higher
True.
intensity, you know what I mean, than in a maybe not like the pressure being put on you by the players, but by the crowd and the atmosphere. I would say that's a higher intensity. Bevoy, I don't know if he won there. I don't know all of his history.
But they've at minimum played.
But yeah, I'm not too worried about them. Okay, so Bevoy has as well. Lost 3 times.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh well, rip.
I mean, I'm not too worried about that because it's not like C9 has a bunch of winners.
No.
Like,
I mean,
they have 3 dudes who have won before, but also 3 dudes who have choked massively before. Well, 2. Sven and Vulcan have been chokers in big moments. I won't give that to Blabber, but Blabber does have some weird times where he'll disappear in big games. But, like, all of the Shopify roster has won except Bevoy. All of the C9 roster has won. Well, my bad, not all of it. Three of them have won.
5,
2
yeah.
of them have never won. So I'm not like sitting here thinking, "Oh man, we're just gonna get out experienced by C9." I think it's just gonna come down to can Fudge keep putting the pressure on Thanatos, and playing him hard, and I mean, Shop or FlyQuest is a whole nother problem. But
I
getting
think you deal
through
with FlyQuest when
C9,
you
I
get
think
to it.
Yeah. Getting through C9 is the big part right now.
Yeah. So I got a wild prediction for this weekend that I don't think many people will see coming.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say where I side on this yet, but if Shopify beats Cloud, I think in the case where Shopify beats Cloud9, FlyQuest is winning the split. If C9 beats Shopify, C9's winning the split. I don't think you guys can win, but I think you can win on Saturday.
Why are you like glazing C9 so hard this time?
Because I like the rematch. Historically, since we've had this double elimination setup, the rematch has always turned out well. Always.
That's a good point, though. winning Saturday is big. We go to EWC.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I keep forgetting about that.
Which
Also, like,
now I
I
desperately need that because then Lud has to eat his words about taking Saudi money because you're going to a Saudi
okay,
tournament.
whatever. That's none of my business. That's their business. But I just it kills me because it's not like I was uber confident in this team because they're just so tough, bro. Like the amount of ebbs and flows they go through, like going from a point where we lost to Dig, and I was genuinely just at wit's end. I was like, this is so much, man. And when you're a fan, you're like, and you have nothing going for you, you're just so shot. And then they beat 100 Thieves, who, to be honest, I didn't think you guys were that good, anyways. So I'm kind of like, I guess that's a big win, but I'm also not sure because we reached down so bad against bad teams.
Yep.
But it turns out they have just been leveling up super hard. I mean, you can't see the vision when they play. There's stuff they want to do that they sometimes just mess up. And you're like, man, if they were just slightly better, that would have been perfect. But it is one of those things where I'm like, hey, also, it would be a rematch for us against FlyQuest. I don't really hate it. The first time we played them, it wasn't. We only got beat because of a throw.
Yeah, but I do feel like FlyQuest is leveling up as we go on. Like I think it's
I think they can also get cocky though, and they can get caught.
you're not wrong. Like the thing you always have to worry about with these playoffs is the winners bracket debuff. It's happened every time it's existed as of late, right?
Uh,
I think every matchup last year,
yeah.
and then
pretty
you
much.
guys back in 2023 summer. I think it happened every time, like the last 3 straight times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that does leave the angle though for Shopify. So that just makes Saturday huge.
it makes
That's what
Saturday
you're
really
telling
big.
me?
Yeah, Saturday's really big.
Saturday just decides everything.
Because if you guys win, think about the amount of confidence and momentum that you have going into that. Like if you beat the team that nearly beat FlyQuest in the first round, oh man. And the storylines between you or Fudge and Blippo are great. Fantastic.
Yeah. Especially because he called him. It wasn't even mentioned on pros. I was like, they're really not going to bring it up that Bippo had recently called him a bottom 3 player in the league.
Yep.
Like, he didn't say it out loud, but he said it. And I'm just sitting here like, man, dude, you're going to do all that, but they don't even talk about it. I mean, I don't know. I really wanted them to.
I think it was Kangus's first time, and he didn't want to stir the pot too much. But if I'm
Yeah.
hosting, there's no way I'm not bringing that up.
You got to bring it
I
up.
watch too much Love Island for me not to ask the spicy drama questions whenever you're there. Like you absolutely, like there's zero reason why that should not have been brought up. It's like, Blippo, how you feeling about possibly facing Shopify and the potential thought of losing to a man that you said was bottom 3 in the league? That'd be exactly how
Yeah.
I would word it.
That is a good point. Ugh, that's just tough. I don't know how they don't mention it. I felt like that was right there for the taking.
It was. But hey, you gotta cut Kangas
Right.
some slack.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
I
new.
just felt like it was a little not fun.
Either way, Luder. Either way, you can bait it. You can bait.
Well, he said the way he said it though, he said my coaches have him bottom 3, and he was like making a face like, and I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Like he was being like, and he kept going, my coaches, and doing stuff like that.
Yep.
Like, you know what that means.
Yep. We can read between the lines. We know.
Yeah. He, in his Buppo, like Buppo very clearly thinks at all times he is the best player, but you need that. If he's on your team, you love it. If he's against yours, you hate it.
Yep.
And he very clearly thinks that like every other top laner who's bad is just like one of the worst players ever.
He'll give him lessons though for free.
Yeah, true.
He'll make content out of it. Something better than
Apparently you
nothing.
don't need it. Apparently you just need Devontae.
Dude, if I swear to God, if you guys win the split, he's black magic.
He really is at this point.
It's witchcraft. It's something he
He really
prayed
is.
to the Lord of Light. Like whatever the fuck you want to say it was. Dude's just God.
I didn't even see it. Retro said that earlier. Devontae's also won. He's
Yeah.
a winning coach. I mean, it seems like he just is the Palafox whisperer.
He is.
Like, he gets Palafox to chill out and
Or
just play the game.
or act or focus the fuck up and play the game, whichever way you want to see it.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's been a lot of talk about the fact he did openly admit that he basically just sucks at every start of year. And I was like, well, there's worse things. I'd rather him suck at the beginning than the end.
Hey, we had that same argument with Double for the longest period of time. Spring didn't matter. He'd scale up later.
Yeah.
That's all that's all anybody cared about.
I mean, it is tough because, like, going into this weekend, even though we're the massive underdog to everybody, I just feel good. Like, we've been just slowly building. I mean, we're slowly going through the top 4. And this is kind of one of those moments where you just get to see, okay, are we the gatekeeper of, like, top, the top group, or are we just bums, pretty much?
I mean, nothing wrong with that. 100 Thieves held that title for a solid year, give or take.
They did.
But we'll see. We will
They
see.
did.
What do you make of what do you think's happening to Umpty?
I think that's over. He's gone. He's so far gone. That's
Yep.
totally gone.
He apparently wasn't even at the studio on Sunday.
Yeah, the biggest lie ever is when people say that a guy's taking a coaching role. That's not how that works. Unless you're done playing and you want to be a coach, that's not how that works.
I find it funny now that the people that were calling me out for stirring shit and making up stuff, and it's like, well, I read between the lines.
Yeah.
Apparently reading between the lines was right. So you're going to come out now and admit that I wasn't stirring up shit for the sake of stirring up shit? Of course not. No, you won't. But it's fine.
Yep.
I take that moment in pride. What's the what is it? The Bill Burr? You're winning an argument. Just dip, dive, duck, dodge, weave.
Yep.
Yank one out on the couch and take that as your champagne of victory.
Yep.
You won the argument. Congrats.
That is exactly how it works. I mean, it's one of those, everyone's going to try to say, like, got screwed. I saw people saying what team in Korea is going to take him. I was like, bruh,
No.
I think Korea has learned their lesson from Piosik. You don't have to take back a guy who clearly is past his prime.
Yeah.
Like, clearly. Unless they're just in need of a jungler in Korea. I don't know if their junglers are that bad on the bottom.
There's still enough talent upcoming.
'Cause I think everybody forgets he was like a bottom tier jungler in Korea. He was not very good. That's why everybody was skeptical when he got brought in, because everybody was like, he's never won. Like, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if he can really. I'm the one who said hopefully he goes back. Oh, okay. Doubt Spartan. Do you think he's like gonna get a team though?
No, he's not getting
I
a
didn't
team.
see. I wasn't mentioning like saying hopefully he goes back. I can get that. I mean the people who were saying like what team is he getting? Like they were saying it like it's a
foregone
conclusion,
conclusion that somebody will pick him up. No,
conclusion
I can guarantee
there's no way.
no LCK team is picking him up. Like people picked up Piosik because like even when they lost at Worlds, he was smurfing. He was playing insanely well. And it's like if Umpty wants to keep playing, he's got to go to the LTA South.
Yep.
I'm gonna be real with you. He's got to go the Summit route. He's got to go to the LTA South. That is your only hope. You're not gonna go over to Europe. Nobody's gonna bring him in for that. Nobody's pulling another Malrong. Like those days are gone.
Yeah.
All right, you could pick up a North American player before you could pick up Umpty and be perfectly fine. And it sucks, but like. I'm not trying to rag on the guy whenever he's about to get dropped, but like let's not act like Umpty was playing well at any big pressure moment for Team
No.
Liquid. Like, he dropped the ball over and over and over again. And it's like, is Yuji the best player right now? No. But he's got a ceiling that we got to wait to see. We know what Umpty's ceiling is, and at some point you got to cut the cord. And the only thing that's kind of shit is that whole argument of like 6-man roster. I was like, well, was it actually a 6-man roster, or were you just waiting to cut him the moment you could? And it's like, yeah, I think you were just waiting to cut him the moment you could.
Yep. I think TL is just slowly realizing they don't like their roster. Even though it split one, which is funny. Like, the fact that it pulled it together for one time, they're just like, no, we don't like this roster at all. Like,
I mean, it came crashing down to reality now. It's like,
to be honest, Impact and Core just look past it. They look past the prime.
Dude, I get you got for Impact and Core, you got to give them one more split. You have to. You have to give them split 3 because they have a history of rebounding. But if Impact specifically plays this bad again in split 3, it's done. You got to be looking at a replacement for him. You got to be bringing in somebody that can hopefully step up. Now, every crop of new top laners that we've brought in to try, whether that's because they're on bottom teams or not, we don't know. But they haven't worked so far. Like, Sniper's the only one that has hit top 2 in that potential. And even then, like, people are going to look at the performance that he put on and been like, I don't, like, it's tough. Like, who do you bring in? Like, this is the hard question for people, is like, who do you bring in over Impact or Core JJ?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Good luck.
I mean, I don't know. That is a toughie. Because,
I mean, to be fair, you have 2 import slots.
Yeah.
There's not a single person on TL right now that's an import. Or, well, no, Yuji is. Sorry, I'm wrong. Yuji is, but Yuji, I'd imagine in the offseason, Yuji might be able to get his green card because he's been here on like a student visa and everything. Like, I'd imagine he's not far from being a resident. In that case, you have import available for every role. Like, they're entirely American at that point, or North American.
Yeah. Because I'm just trying to think about it. Like, I know people are really hard on APA. I mean, people always dump on APA. But honestly, like, some of the games, I was looking at it and I was like, well, he just has no space, bro. Like, there is no space for him to do those Nico ults because Impact and Core just don't do anything when they're having a bad game. Like, they create no space for the carries to really carry. They're just getting poked out, it feels like, the entire time. They're not really, like, Jan's playing pretty good League, I would say, all things considered. But it just feels like I don't know of a better way to say it, no pun intended, the impact of Impact and Core is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, on the game right now, it's not what it used to be. And everybody, like, wants to really hold on to them and just blame APA, like that's somehow going to fix it. And I'm just like, yes, APA has some, I would say, champ pool issues, and like, yes, he runs it down sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? But their whole team is also just running it down. Yeah. So it's like, it's tough. And I do think, yes, you can get a better mid than APA. If you ultimately wanted to, you could. But it's hard to feel like APA is a mistake. Or it feels hard to get rid of him to me because the way he was playing when they were winning, he really can suffocate a game.
Yeah. I don't think you touch APA personally. Like, despite the shit that people want to give him, like, fine. But, like, look, we are past the days where we are going to get these, like, mega superstar imports, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody in tier 2 that's beating APA. None. Not a single mid laner down there is going to beat him. On top of that, I'd rather import top.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to, I'd rather import top. But either way, I still like APA on this roster. I think you keep. We're in this era where it's like you don't get rid of somebody unless you absolutely have to, and it's like I don't agree with Cloud that Core is or that Impact is going to retire. I don't know. This dude seems criminally addicted to professional League of Legends play. Maybe it's different. Maybe he's given the indication to somebody, but like for now, like even though he's fallen off in form, I don't get the impression that he wants to retire. But if you're a TL and this is the impact that you're going to get, you eventually do have to pull the trigger. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. Good luck.
It's con posts. A wild con spotting, or sighting. But he was like C9 fans just hate APA because he wins. And it's like,
if you think that I've ever given a shit about what C9 fans say, you're out of your mind.
No, I just mean low key. That is how it feels, though. It feels like a lot of people just hate APA because he gets away with winning while talking trash. Yep. Right? It's the same thing as Blippo. Like if Blippo has a down week, he needs to be replaced now. Like that's the conversation everybody's having because he talks a lot of trash. So everybody wants him gone. Everyone wants him fired. But then you watch Blippo and APA play, and you're like, genuinely, who do you go get? Like for their price point and for their like ability, I don't think there's just a ton of people that you're picking up.
No, it's funny. I think it's a generational thing. That's my guess because we're dealing with this with Love Island right now, and I guess this is kind of like off topic, but I promise it'll merge it back in. There are people on that show that the newer fans, the newer people getting into the show hate. And their first comment is every time, I want this person voted off the fucking show. And it's like, no, you don't. But you're so new and you're so young that you don't understand it. Maybe that's your first reaction to every problem, but like you want these people that you see as problematic on the show because they're good drama. That's the whole point, is drama. So you don't get rid of the source of drama. You keep the source of drama there the entire time. So the same thing goes for LTA, where it's like these players are a source of drama for people. They're like, the reason why they're dramatic is because there are highs and there are lows that are more extreme than others. If it was just lows all the time, like Castle, for example, is one that, like a name that I always see brought up in like a somewhat positive way. It's like, great, he performs well occasionally, but still doesn't know how to like step up. It's like that doesn't stir the pot, as Kiki said. Like, great point. Like, you're not causing drama. You're not causing these entertaining storylines that we can get behind and cheer. Or hate and hate watch. Like, that's fine. Like, that's a part of it. And if you can't do either of those, what good are you? And the reality is, just because you don't like Blippo or you don't like APA doesn't mean you want them gone. Like, I don't understand that mentality from people. It's just like, honestly, short-sighted and dumb.
Yeah, I mean, that was harsh ending, but I agree. It's tough because I'm sitting there just thinking like, dude, you keep calling for these guys to be fired, but like who comes in to replace them? Like even Surdy, like people are like the Surdy experiment was clearly a waste, and I'm like, this is year one,
not even fully year
halfway in, yeah. And the roster he's on, like, we're all calling this roster bad. So what if he went to just a better situation? Like, you put him in a better situation and things get good again, we're fine. Like, imports is the answer. People are going to have, Lunar is right. Like, imports, because everybody just loves imports here. It is true. Like, imports, they have done a lot. Like, I get that. But it's one of those, like, you gotta have somebody who you keep on the team that is American, because even like Blabber, well, not American, but you know what I mean, like somebody who has a green card and doesn't take up a slot. And because even Blabber, sometimes I feel like people are like instantly like, you got to get rid of him. I've done it because I just don't like him. And that's the guy I do it to. So C9 fans just do it back to APA, and I'm just like, and the longer I sit there and just read both sides, I'm like, maybe this is like exactly what you said. This is short-sighted and stupid what we're all doing. This is like, why are we doing this?
I mean, okay,
We're just calling for the people to be fired.
so here's the thing. I believe that there are a lot of players that are in situations for far too long that are not good for them. Or they get comfortable. Like, simply put, keep relating this to Love Island. You know, you have more girls than guys on the island. All of a sudden, guess who has the power? The guys. And they realize that. And it slowly creeps into your mind that you can get away with a little bit more. And you can do a few more things. It's the same thing with some of these people on these top teams. It's like, okay, I'm not saying we need roster changes the extent that Call of Duty does, which is like after every single fucking event. But I do think there should be more pros at like top level that after you've not won for a while, like try and mix it up just a little bit on some of these top. Like maybe consider going to a rival just because it'd be funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just drama though, and maybe that's not real. Like for Blabber, for example, because I think he's a good one. Where it's like if C9 doesn't win now, like will they ever win again? There's power in Blabber staying, but like there's only so many times that you can change out every piece around him before I sit here and be like, okay, maybe Blabber just doesn't work within the C9 system. And maybe he'll be a fucking monster elsewhere with any other team. But here he's just not working. I don't know.
Yeah.
Call that the JoJo effect.
Dude, that JoJo really breaks everybody's brain now, too.
I know.
We told that man to leave this country, and look what happens. He leaves. He has one bad split to start the year in what I like the way Nox calls it the preseason. Like, that's pretty much what winter is. And JoJo starts poor. People instantly go, that man's a bum. And then he steps up, like, obviously his team played great too. They stepped up as a team. But after an incredibly, now looking back on it, almost crazy that they did so well PR campaign to call him a lazy, worthless mid laner, he now is on a team that all they did was brag about their work ethic and talk about how hard they worked, and every player is talking about how much work they put in. And I'm just like, dude, which obviously maybe he could have been lazy last year. You never know.
Yeah.
Like, but just looking now, it's like, dude, that's crazy.
I mean, we talked about it before, but I
wouldn't say some people need to have a pretty large company in the scene smear campaign them, but maybe they do need it.
I honestly, like, I think this might go down as one of those things where, like, again, it sucks in the moment and it's terrible. And based on what I heard Cubby speak on Hotline League, it sounds like C9 did him beyond dirty this past off season.
Who did?
See, Cubby said this.
C9
Yeah,
JoJo?
that they said that
Okay.
it was basically like a crusade against him. Which
Yeah.
I can get. You're salty about everything that happened. Like, we still don't know the full truth of everything. But this could have ended, like, this is probably going to end up being the best thing that ever happened for JoJo's career.
Oh yeah.
By a long
100%.
shot. Like, oh, brother. This guy's set. He's in with the Spanish fans now. And, like, he can still keep getting better. And the worst part is, I saw somebody bring this up the other day. Is like, if he is actually having issues with IBS, European food is so much better for that because they lack all the shit that we have in our food here. So unironically, you might be better off in so many different ways over there.
And he went to a team that, like, well, depending on the leaks you listen to, has a chef who can help with that. So, I mean, from some of the leaks we've heard,
I don't think he's with them anymore. I think he's with Vitality.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, there's some leaks that say that chef does some terrible things, but which, who knows? I mean, that's something so unsubstantiated and random. I don't know. But I'm not trying to over dramatize it, like C9's campaign against him, but it was just hilarious thinking back on it. Watching JoJo win this and listening to the interviews. Like, the interviews is what killed me. Like, Elioya standing there going, we worked so hard for this. We're just so happy this happened. Jojo being like, we worked so hard. After it, like, Alvaro and Supa are like, we worked so hard for this. Merwin's like, we've played a ton of games, probably played more than anybody else. And they just all keep saying that. And I'm just like, dude, this is crazy. Like, the change of scenery for him that helped him so much. And honestly, he's getting way more money than he would have got here because if we're being real, who knows how bad he really was. There was probably a little bit they wanted out of the deal because they realized it was a bad deal. And businessmen can be ruthless at times, whether
See,
people want to admit that or not.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna start calling it into question. Who the fuck is making these C9 deals?
No
Let's be
clue,
honest.
bro.
This century, or not this century, Jesus, this decade, C9's deals that they've been throwing out there, the like $2.3
Crazy.
million for perks. Like the making JoJo, not saying that JoJo didn't deserve to be the highest paid player in the league. Like I think he did coming in the last year. But like, dude, C9 like throws money at problems and it never leads to like good, tangible, long-term results for the brand, in my opinion. Maybe it's just me being a hater too, because I very well might be. But like, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have this
Yeah.
rotating
No, it
carousel
is.
of players besides that, where it's like, oh, we're just going to continue to keep fucking importing, and eventually we'll make it work.
Yeah. I mean, it's been. When's the last time they won?
2023 spring.
Okay, that's not too long. That's not too bad. I think. Realistically,
It's not terrible.
there are worse positions you could be in, I think.
But my question is, has it actually led to tangible brand value growth, the amount of money that you're fucking spending on these guys?
Oh, that stuff, no. Their deals, yeah, their deals are terrible. I mean, to be honest, even the perks deal, like, it's okay. They won. They got out of groups, which I'm sure they'll say that made it totally worth it. But when you're sitting there like going, was that the most wonderful deal in the world? No.
Yeah.
Like, they instantly dump it. And so I just can't think it was that great of a deal.
Like how
And then-
many extra
and the buyout
jerseys
was
did you
crazy.
sell? How many extra jerseys did they sell by signing perks?
True. No clue. And one of the toughest parts though of this kind of argument and why they're very difficult to have is we literally cannot comment on the actual numbers
No, because we have
because
no
nobody
clue.
will ever show us these. Like, there's no world we ever get to see that.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nox says they said they got majority of the money back. There's no like, the only source is just C9 going, we came out good. We recouped our losses. That's what Jack said. We recouped our losses. And I was just like, what does that mean? Because it was called the biggest buyout ever. There were all these people talking about how big the buyout was. And then at the end of the year, when it didn't work out, then a bunch of stuff started getting leaked. Actually, we didn't spend that much money, and it was actually a really good deal. And we worked it year over year to make it really good. So actually, everybody's wrong. We didn't spend that much money because the beginning of the year, they were bragging about how much they blew to get perks. And then by the end, they're like, actually, we didn't do any of that, and you're all kind of stupid. And it's just like, what?
Yep.
What? And I was just shocked. I mean, it was kind of weird. And it wasn't like they had some crazy sponsorship from it. They just did it. And it worked. It worked enough. They got a championship out of it, I would say.
The part that
I
the part that I found funny with this whole conversation is they talked about it on Hotline League last night, and Travis and everybody but Cubby pretty much was like, oh, these players are still like, it's still advantageous to pick North America. I get like the whole friends and family part of it, that aside, they're like, oh, European players are on minimum salaries, right? And even though North America is very quickly creeping towards like that being the stock standard as well, like I'd say we're about on even playing field coming into this year.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you think it's going to go after this? Is my like they were doing a lot of like past reflection of like, oh, you know, we like these players didn't take deals that were like that bad. Like they're still getting advantageous shit compared to Europe. And I'm like, okay, but what about next year? What about next year where our average viewership is 63K and theirs is way fucking higher? Where they're hitting for finals, like they're panicking slightly over drops of like 450,000 to like 404,000. And that's with a buy not streaming at all, which helped that number the prior year. So like I'm personally chilling with that. They're gonna have more opportunities and more money, even if it's if we both had 400,000 viewers, if North America and Europe had 400K, we would be more advantageous because the American money and the American market that we have for us is way better than Europe. But that is such a big difference that it will negate that and swing it back into Europe's favor now.
Come on.
Is it going to hop up?
Yeah. Do it. If you want it, you got to do it.
Hey.
His mom's gone on vacation, so
you guys are dog sitting.
He's having a breakdown.
Oh.
No, I mean Sam's not here.
Oh.
She's on vacation with the family. I had to work. So he's just fighting for his life without his mom. But
you want the weird one for us? So Emily got surgery to remove the cyst from her vocal cords. She can't talk for the next week entirely. Like it's just not allowed to talk, which has been phenomenal. By the way, from the perspective of the amount of shit that I can get away with without her being able to say anything has been great. You scared Coco. But so she came back and the dogs are like looking at her like, are you gonna hike? Because she's always energetic with them, always saying stuff, and now she's just like, and they're just looking at her like, what the fuck is going on right now? They're so confused, and I'm like, this is great. This is great. I could, and like normally, like Emily, they'll start like barking at the door, and Emily will be like yell at them to stop. I'll just let it go, just because I know she can't yell.
Yeah.
And I can just sit there and like bask in it. It's like, you can't say shit. I might get 5 texts after this, but I can just turn my phone on do not disturb, and then you can't bother me. No, I'm not actually that big of a dick, to be very clear. This is more of an exaggeration of the actual truth. I'm very caring when it comes to her situation. Before anybody gets too pissed off and thinks I'm a terrible husband. I am in many ways, but that is not one.
And to warn people, this is what 20 pounds of pure muscle looks like on a dog.
Yep. Uh-oh. She's typing.
Uh-oh.
She's typing.
Uh-oh.
That's not coming through as clear. You're an asshole is what that says in reverse.
Oh my gosh.
Can't read backwards. I mean, don't worry. I'll read out the messages as they come in. Also, who the fuck needs an entire cutting board for a sandwich? Okay. Well, for the record, I made PB&J sandwiches earlier. And rather than wasting a plate after I put the bread on the cutting board to spread the peanut butter and jelly, I just used the cutting board as the plate. Problem solved.
That's not a bad idea.
No, that's not. I'm not wasting any more dishes. Like that makes sense to me.
Bad idea.
Like, make the sandwich on your plate, you dingus. That's 4 pieces of bread. Four pieces of bread cannot fit flatly on a plate. And then you're trying to spread peanut butter and jelly on a curved surface.
All I use for that stuff is a towel, paper towel.
I could use a paper towel. That's
how I make all my sandwiches.
That is an option. But like,
I was about to say the same thing Chris said. I'm kind of shocked you cut them. Just fold them in half.
no, I don't cut them.
Oh, you don't cut them. Okay.
No, I don't
Then
cut 'em.
yeah.
That was mean. You said it was great. I can't talk.
Literally, just rip them in half.
No,
Like,
I don't rip. I don't
rip
rip any of my
sandwich in
sandwiches in
half.
half. I just eat them straight up.
Oh.
No, I just like I'm saying spreading it on like a flat, even surface. And we have like 5 cutting boards over there, so why the fuck not? Like, why waste the paper towels, which I'm gonna need for something else, when I could just use a cutting board? It's reusable. That's all I'm saying. Like, what's so wrong with that? Nope. There. Here's what's wrong. So then I have to do your dishes, you dingus. That sounds like a personal problem to me.
You don't have a dishwasher?
We do have a dishwasher.
Set everything in the dishwasher.
I try to, but then she's doing her own dishes, and
Stainless steel.
What?
Stainless steel. If everything's stainless steel, it can be chucked in a dishwasher.
Well, I can promise you our cutting board is not stainless steel. Also, you never cleaned the stove
cutting
or
boards
did your
are a
dishes.
problem.
I did unload the dishwasher as
I don't like cutting boards at all, though. Cutting boards are like known hives of bacterial infection.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also I grew up in a restaurant where cutting boards are very standard. You just have to clean them. You have to bleach your
Yeah, I
cutting
just
boards.
don't trust them. I don't trust them.
That's
Once
a,
you
that's
hear
a
that they're
wild
dirty,
hold.
they're dirty.
You never cleaned your dishes. Yeah, my responsibility in this household, by nature of you letting the dogs out. Do you see my text about the bitch on the street? Yes, I saw your text about the bitch on the street. To read off
Oh dear.
to read off Emily's text about the bitch on the street. See, this is why I can't go out. This dumb bitch walking on the wrong side wouldn't move, and I put my hands up in the air, and she starts cussing me out. When this fucking idiot is walking on the wrong side. Well, you couldn't
All
say
right,
anything,
go.
right? So why would you listen?
Go.
You said something?
Go fight
Don't say
somebody,
something. Why the
Dexter.
fuck?
Go fight someone.
I'm getting in her text. Emily says she didn't. You're not supposed to talk, ma'am. You were literally not supposed to say a word. That includes not yelling at people that piss you off. Like, here's an idea. If you're going out in public, okay, and you know that a situation might happen that might lead to a confrontation of which you would then have to say something, just don't say anything.
Wah.
I didn't yell. I said you're on the wrong side, you idiot. But you're not supposed to say anything. You were not supposed to say a word. Period. You are on specific instructions from your doctor to not say a word the entire week. No shit, I didn't even mean to. She kicked Luna in the face earlier today. She was sleeping on the couch, didn't realize that Luna was there at the end, and accidentally like kicked her square in the face. And you just hear Emily go, "Sorry," and I'm like, "You're not supposed to be talking. Zip it." You know those TikTok memes as like, what's the one thing that a guy can do that a girl never can? And the guy just stops talking and the girl sit there and is like, what? What can a guy do? Or what can a guy do that a girl can't? Girls can do anything. What do you mean?
No, what is that?
Oh, you hold up.
I've never heard of these. I don't have TikTok.
Hold up. I'll play this. Something men can do that women can't. What? Oh, she's texting me. Jesus. I kicked my dog in the face by accident and felt bad, but apologized. You don't need to apologize. You're fine.
I figured out a trend that the boyfriends can do, but the girlfriends cannot. You ready? Watch this. Watch this. Ready?
What is it? I don't get it. Like standing like this? Hello? I don't understand. I'm doing it. I'm doing exactly what you're doing. Baby, I'm hungry. I'm cooking dinner. Please, can you just tell
Thank you. All right, fellas.
I get it now.
That's it.
I get it now.
I'm living that trend this week. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. You
I
realize
get
how
it
much
now.
time this is cutting into the podcast. I didn't mean to. Stop saying I'm talking like I was doing it on purpose. It was an accident. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to talk, ma'am. Oh, man. Is there anything else that I missed on the... Oh, she's slipping off from the corner. Is there anything else we missed in terms of headlines from this past weekend before I mentioned something that I wanted to say?
We talked about JoJo, which was a big part. We talked about Shopify, which is really all I care about. So, no.
Can we talk about how fucking dumb that Riot response was to the LTA stuff?
What was their response? Everybody kept talking about this. I couldn't find it.
Okay, let me read you this. I have a whole video going out on it tomorrow because I'm pissed.
Okay. A lot of people were saying it was stupid, and I was like, "What is this about?"
So Travis made his video saying, hey, why don't we change it back to LCS? And it kind of kicked everything off, and people were like, okay, yeah, this is starting to gain some steam and momentum. Cecilia, who reacted to my reacted to the Gods music video back in Worlds 2023 with me, she reached out to them, got a comment. Here's all their words. Honestly, we're not here to argue about whether the rebrand succeeded or failed. Fans feel how they feel, and that's valid. Skipping down. The conversation often zeroes in on just the name change, and there's actually way more going on beneath the surface. Bottom line, nothing's set in stone. We're learning, adapting, and we're committed to building something that fans genuinely love. Nothing is set in stone. Oh, wait, no. That's cutting. That's repeating that. We knew things might start off slower. It takes time for people to get used to something new. And he addressed old fans versus new fans. And bringing them back and introducing new fans is going to take a continued effort. That was all the quotes from Carlos Antunes, who is the head of LTA, LLA, CB Lowell at Riot. What's your immediate thoughts on that?
I think it does. One of my big things is this week I was arguing with people that changing back to LCS I don't think is going to magically help as much as we think. I think changing back to LCS is still the right move. That's my first opinion. But I think people are kind of taking it as this thing that's we need it now, and once we go back things will be fine again. We'll go right close to where we were and all this stuff. And I do agree with them in the sense it does take time. If you want to build a new brand and you want to do something differently, it will take a while to build that brand. That's just how things work. Now, do I think that we were in a position where rebranding was a great idea? I really don't. I think it was just the best move would have been to have left it LCS CB LOL, and then everybody says, Overleague is LTA or whatever when they're playing tourneys or something. But they already kind of dropped that and moved to this L-Tan, L-South thing, which just doesn't come off the tongue very well at all. And it's cooked. And honestly, maybe you do have to just drop it. But I do think going back to LCS, people are way overhyping themselves for what it's going to do.
I haven't seen people doing that.
There were a lot of people talking about the numbers this week in the chat.
I mean, to be fair, do you think there's this massive drop off to the same extent that it happened this year if we kept it LCS?
Probably not, no.
Okay. So like there's my
But I
biggest
think
point.
now when you bring it back, it doesn't like
No,
make
no,
up.
I agree. I do
Oh,
I
okay,
do
yeah,
think
that
it
was
does.
my big
I
thing.
will say, I think it does restore some of the numbers because I'm telling, like from a back end, the search engine optimization side of this is dude. I still title videos LCS or like try and title them LCS because they do better in the algorithm.
Yeah,
They just do. So it's like
interesting. Maybe it would then.
like
Maybe it really
there's
would.
a scientific reason as to why I want LCS back over LTA. When people are like, "Oh, it wouldn't lead to higher numbers," it sure as fuck will lead to higher numbers for me. That's at a minimum.
Yeah.
And if it's leading to higher numbers for me, it's probably going to lead to higher numbers for them. If I had to guess, like
Yeah.
we are losing to the fucking Lawn Tennis Association.
The what?
The Lawn Tennis Association is the search that comes up whenever you search LTA, not League of the Americas.
Really? Are you kidding?
Just type in LTA. Do yourself a little bit of homework.
I get LTA North,
You get LTA.
but maybe
North
my algo. I mean, I do on.
now? Oh, I type in LTA and it immediately goes to Flickr. So tells you where I'm at.
Channel's new to me though. Right under. Oh no! Wow, that is kind of crazy. The third video I have is Lawn Tennis Association.
And
What
it's
the
not like
heck
there's a
even is
lack
that?
of content out there with LTA.
Yeah.
They have 45K subscribers and probably like,
hmm
ugh.
I mean, it's tough to say too though, because aren't we like our viewership is really kind of cooked, I guess, live.
I mean, well, like, okay, so here's the thing. I agree with, like, the thing that pisses me off about this riot statement is, like, you're sitting here being like, oh, well, there's way more to it. It's like everybody with a bit of common sense in this conversation has said that it's not just the name change, but we're trying to give you the fucking layup that you won't take. Like, that's my problem with this, is like, you spent millions, maybe, hopefully it wasn't millions. You spent a ton of money on this rebrand. You did all this shit, and you didn't fucking market it. Like, how,
Yeah.
I guess not my biggest problem, but like the gripe I have is like, have a fucking conversation with us. What are these bullshit statements? Like, I appreciate that Cecilia reached out to them, but like, Adam Silver was on fucking ESPN last week doing podcasts and having conversations because you're trying to raise awareness for the leagues, as well as having these hard conversations that you need to have around the league. And there's fucking nobody that's willing to come out and talk about this shit. They just fucking hide. And that's my problem, is like, you're hiding in the shadows and refusing to have the conversations with folks that need to be had that will call you out on your fucking marketing. Now, I can have that in a respectful way. Like, I promise you, if Mark came on my channel right now and said, hey, let's do an hour-long interview, like, say you and I, okay, do this right here and right now. If he's not going to be able to talk about it, I'm not going to have him on, period, because it's a waste of time. And then once again, like, the whole thing on Riot. But, like, you and I aren't going to be disrespectful to him when we're talking. Like, we're going to show genuine concern, but we're not going to be like, dude, you're a piece of shit. What the fuck you doing? You should be fired from your job. We're not going to say that to your fucking face. We might think that, but not for Mark Z, to be very clear. I'm using this as a hypothetical situation. But, like, we might think things and disagree with what he's saying, but, like, we're going to be respectful when we have these conversations. Like, you got to be out there public facing and talk about this shit, because, like, how are we not addressing that you did fuck all to market a new league?
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those, like, I think it was one of the biggest mistakes they ever made. Like, genuinely, to crush the league that bad. I'm curious because I don't know what they do now. Like, if you go back to LCS, maybe it does fix everything, you know, because of all the old name, or like it helps with rebuilding, you know?
Yeah.
Because at this point, we're just trying to rebuild. Because that was my biggest concern last year, was them giving that send-off for people. A closing ceremony to the LCS felt like it was just another like reason to get 30 to 40,000 of the people left to leave again.
Yeah.
And like if we're being real, that was back when Brazil watched Janae and wasn't and they're really sticking to their guns, but they weren't mad at us and boycotting our league. Like losing the Brazilian viewership has hit pretty hard, quite harder than I think people want to give it credit. And also on top of it, I think LEC has like seen how far down we've gone, and they're just completely out of it from a fan perspective. I mean, they're very focused on their own thing, which I don't hate because they're doing all the things that I've thought is like fair,
Yeah.
They're cheering for their teams. They're tuning out when their teams are done, which is fine. In the playoffs, they do show up and watch playoff games, but they're not going to sit there and watch every single series in the regular season of teams they don't care about, which I think you should be able to do as a fan.
Agreed.
And yeah, Brazil does watch Seos. That's true. But that is like the one thing, honestly, Shopify being good is a good thing for the league. Because we're the only team that really has.
To see what we're at after this past week.
I have no idea what it was. I would assume.
I'll tell you. I mean,
Okay.
I would assume those series have to be like two of the most watched of the entire weekend or of the entire year for LTA. Let's find out. LTA North split 2. Place your bet before I load this up. Do you think both of the series from this past weekend are within the top 3 viewed series of the entire split?
100%, yeah. Oh yeah, both of them should be.
I'm assuming they should be because Cadril was also co-streaming. So like that was a pretty significant.
Are they
bump.
even done taking it all in though?
Yeah, it looks like
They've been
are.
taking forever on LTA stuff. I won't lie.
Or maybe not. It looks like that's gonna be nope. That's a no, sir. I'm guessing not. Because the top 4 are. I mean, it's been 3 days, so you would assume that this is adjusted. But C9 Fly is the only one that's even close. It's sitting at 5th at 94K average.
And they haven't adjusted or something.
I thought Cadril was watching that series, right?
I don't know. He might have been busy with all the tier 2 stuff.
It was EMEA Masters, maybe. I don't know. But either way, like, that should be up there. Our average viewership, though, is 69,000.
What?
69,000.
What? How? That doesn't sound right.
What do you mean?
That's just so oddly low. I know we talk about it so much, but it still doesn't sound real.
I mean, it looks real to me.
Also nice, but
have you like? I'll be honest. The most depressing part of all this shit. I remember the days back in like 2018, 2019, tuning in on opening day and just seeing like 300K people watching on that main broadcast. Dude, that shit felt so good.
Are we at the blessed bottom?
What do you mean? Like the true rock bottom that it can't get worse than this?
No, this is like the most blessed bottom you could be in. 69,000 being your bottom? That's where we turned it around? Was it 69K?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good timeline, if that's where we're at. Where did everything turn around? We hit 69K and we turned it back. That's a win. That's a big win.
It is. Could be.
I don't know. I mean, I know that's not great averages and everything, but it's like, I don't even know. I don't know what the Ludwig video ended up being at. I already listened. to his whole thing.
I thought that was doing well, if I'm not mistaken. I thought
SR put it out super fast. Good job to
yeah, that
whoever did it. I assume Retro.
They killed that shit. It's it's almost at 10K. It's about to be at 10K.
Yeah, I was gonna say they put it out quick.
Clean thumbnail too on it. That shit can build.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
100 Thieves smurfing, by the way, on TikTok right now.
Are they?
Oh yeah. I need to see if they posted another video. Let me see. 100T lol. So if you had to get, they put out 2 videos in the last 10 days. What do you think the average views on those 2 videos are? On TikTok.
20K. Oh, TikTok.
Yeah.
540,000.
3.3 million
Oh my gosh. For League?
for League. Guess that League rank. It was from their YouTube video that went on their channel.
Wow.
They cut them up into shorter clips.
Holy cow.
3.3 million average views a piece. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Now, can they replicate that every time? Probably not. No. But
that's good.
that's good. That's fantastic. Good shit. Keep it going.
Yeah.
And also, FlyQuest I saw is filming a video this week that's going to be interesting. Have you seen those debate videos where it's like everybody in a circle, one person comes in? Team Liquid just did one the other week. Or did one a bit ago with Spawn, where it was like 1 versus 20. Spawn was arguing different points. They're doing it with LS.
Yeah. Oh, I heard about that. Yep. You
Yep.
can be one of the people to go argue with LS.
Yep. That video is going to pop.
Oh,
video
that
is going to pop
100% is.
so well.
That video is going to go crazy.
Yep. I got one other thing I want to mention before we wrap this up here.
Okay.
I don't know if this is fair or not, and you tell me. I'm low-key salty with Riot.
About?
The Regal Cinema shit.
What about it?
Surely that deal didn't just pop up out of nowhere, right? Like they had to have been working on that for a while now.
I see what you're saying.
What's Emily saying?
I see.
Oh god, Emily downloaded an app to say things out loud. And she's invading my space right as I was about to go on a very serious monologue.
That you didn't get any help.
Not necessarily that. It's not invading my yeah. I don't know. She's going. You have fun. I'll be out soon. You have fun. Heavenly. Oh, he. Okay. Yep. Go. I'll talk to you in a minute. No, so here's my thing. It's not like the New York City League space is big enough I mean, it is big enough, like with Riot resources and everything else to get people to show up to this shit. But wouldn't it be better if we fucking work together to have an event like this rather than having 2 competing things? But I already arranged with the bar owner that we're going to and like reserve the space and everything. I can't bail on them and just tell people to go to the fucking movie theater at this point. That's not fair to the business. And I hope that people show up, and I think they will. But like, you had to have known this was at least in the pipe works. And you could have fucking told me as like, hey, we're working on a possible movie theater thing. Can you just hold off on finals? Like, hold off on finals. Say that there will be an event. We're possibly working on something. We'll figure it out. But like, just hold off. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? It's not like I don't reach out to. I reached out to them in fucking April of last year for the global side, being like, hey, if you're gonna do anything for finals, like let me know. I won't schedule an event. I won't do anything. And they were like, yeah, we're probably gonna do something at some point. There's no plans yet, but we might. And I was like, fine, cool. I don't have to worry about shit. There will probably be something. And afterwards, if enough demand is there, then it can spill over to OS and we could just do the typical venues there. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I was like, come on, bro. Really? Really? Like, just give me some sort of notice. Like, let's work together on this shit. And it feels like I don't know if it came together last minute. Maybe it did. But they're only offering it in like 7 cities across the U.S., which, fine, I get. But
What are all the cities? I just assumed they weren't going to do Indianapolis.
hang on. Fucking what's his name? Sean
Well, I just pulled it up.
tagged me in him.
Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, Seattle, Houston, Knoxville, Warrington, Pennsylvania.
That's Philly.
That's
That's Philly.
interesting.
That's
Okay,
that's fine.
Philly.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All
Yeah.
those choices.
I think all those choices make sense, and that's fine. I looked at the seating today for the one in New York. There's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30. There's 30 people filling up these seats. It's about halfway full. So there's about
Okay.
60 seats that are available for something like this. I'm going to be real with you. I'd rather fucking watch it in a bar.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather watch, like, okay, World's Finals, maybe a different story. A 60-person theater versus 60 people in a bar, 60 people in a bar feels way fucking better. No?
Yeah. Because you can talk to people.
Yeah. Versus in a theater, it's a little bit tougher.
I don't even know, bro. I just want to see
I'm
the choices.
I wish I could fucking be there for hours, and I can't be because I'm going to be out of town. But I know I think at least we'll probably get at least like 20 some people minimum. Hopefully more than that. I wish I could be there to help run it, and I'd do a lot more. But it's Father's Day weekend. I'm going to be out of town, which annoys the piss
There's
out of me.
16 in Chicago right now.
16 seats booked
Yeah.
out of how many total? Like 60, I'm assuming.
I don't know how much this would be. I 1 through 10, and it's like A through I. So, whatever that comes out to.
90. So 90 seats. It's not bad.
Yeah.
This is A
I-
1 through 12 and F.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no
Six.
way I could go to that realistically unless I was single. That's so far. I was looking at it like, $20. That wouldn't be a bad time. Go meet some people, but that place would be let's see. Yeah, that just can't happen.
But
I don't think I can leave the house for 3 hours.
this
for the
is
drive and 3
this
hours
is my
back with
problem,
6,
and this is why I
9,
think we
9.
fucking we're missing the plot as a region. How many places did you say there were total? Like 8, 9, maybe?
8 or 9, yeah.
Task each of the fucking LTA teams with hosting a watch party in a local area.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like $20 to go to a fucking movie theater to do this whenever you can do, like, I promise you could get a bar to show it.
Which I think that's what it said. I don't want to like
Let me see. I'm gonna like try.
Could be off.
I'm gonna try and check out. Let me continue as a guest. Let's see how many seats. No, let me see. Yeah, it's $15 for a seat there, which I get. You're paying for, everything else.
and it's 8. 8 theaters.
8 theaters.
But they're in big places, I get that.
I get, and by all means, like, that's good, but like,
Tennessee is interesting.
I'm glad they're doing something. To be very clear, I'm glad they're doing something because odds are if they didn't do this, it's not like other people would do other things. But like, surely it can't be hard for orgs to pick a city and focus their attention there, at least a little bit.
Honestly, I'm shocked Riot doesn't partner more with, like, not partnering, literally just pushing out what is it? The like game bars or whatever. Like gaming lounges and pushing those out on broadcast. I feel like they've never really done that too much.
No, they haven't. Like, I'm not saying we deserve all the fucking attention in the world, but holy shit, dude, imagine how much better all this could fucking be if Riot helped me push out these watch parties. Like, you know that I'm doing them. You know that they're there every other fucking week. Like, just give it a little bit of love. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, you know how I bitched at 100 Thieves for the longest time? It's like, can you do content without it needing to be fucking sponsored by Subway? Can I have one video of you guys just like doing something fun and entertaining without being told I needed to eat a fucking meatball parm on a fucking Italian urban cheese like bread, please? Like, just do something for the love of the game at this point. Riot, you don't have to fucking do anything. Just help me out. Like, just shout out the New York City watch parties on broadcast. Shout out all your watch parties. Like you have a list of them. You have people that are willing to do this shit consistently. And it's not like you don't have my list ahead of time. I published our fucking locations of watch parties 2 days after you published the schedule. So you can't sit here and be like, oh, well, we didn't know.
Yeah. No, it's fair.
Like, fucking just, I don't know, help a little bit. I'm trying to help you. Help me.
Yeah. I get why you're more upset about it than me.
Yeah, well,
I get why. Yeah,
I don't like competing against Riot. And that's what I'm now doing. I'm this event is directly competing against Riot. And that feels shitty because you're dividing the community.
Yeah.
A small 100%. But growing community. And that should never be the fucking case. Ever. We should not be in a situation where that has to fucking happen.
Yep. Maybe they just didn't know. It feels like nobody talks to
each other. They probably didn't, because this is definitely a Riot side thing that they probably found out later.
Well, it's also just like, Riot shockingly just does not seem in tune with their fans and the esports side of things. At least in NA.
No.
They just can't seem to put it together.
What's amazing to me is, think about how many fucking times Azael uniquely pitched it on broadcast this past weekend. He said it every game. He found a transition to say it every single fucking time. And you've only sold 30 tickets in New York.
That is kind of crazy.
That's wild. But you want to know the worst part? If Riot told me right now, hey, we'll send you one skin if you go to Washington Square Park with a sign and ask people like League of Legends questions, and then at the end of it tell them that, hey, LTA finals are this weekend, you can watch it at this Regal Cinema spot. I promise you, between that and me just mentioning it naturally in my TikTok, I could sell that shit out. But I'm not gonna push their shit for them whenever I've got my own thing going on.
Yeah, and it is like you said, it's tough. I mean, because you're out here working on yours, and you're working with a business, and you're trying to create this local thing. And they're doing that, but at the same time, they are doing something we've asked for. So it's
and that's the thing. It's like it's a situation where I'm sitting here bitching about something that I've wanted for a long period of time. But it's like, you're doing it right. And
are they gonna leave the lights on?
No, I doubt it.
That feels so awkward watching it in the dark.
I mean, have you ever been to a movie theater with the fucking lights on? It's not great.
Yeah, but I'd like the lights to be on so I can
maybe halfway.
People. Yeah, halfway, like dimmed or something.
Yeah. Fun fact: I've never seen either of the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
I haven't either. And you want to know an even weirder thing?
What?
I listen to that movie soundtrack like crazy. I love it. I love the music. Never seen the movie.
Wow. Wow.
You're gonna find this to not be surprising at all. But tomorrow, I got the day off tomorrow, like just randomly. He was like, "You're good tomorrow. Have a good day," and I just went, "Okay," and instantly my plan, because Sam's in Tennessee, I'm driving to a theme park that's like 2 hours away from my house and going to it. I'm gonna try to ride all the rides
is your
before
daughter with
noon
her?
and drive home. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
So
what
I'm
about
just-
the dog?
Oh, the dog will just be home. He'll be fine.
For how many hours?
It's a 2 hour drive, and then what? I go to the theme park for 4, drive home. That's like a standard 8.
8? Okay.
He puts that in when I work anyways.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because that, like, these two we can't do 8.
Oh.
But
No,
that's 'cause Lynn's-
he's a dog, bro. He champs it. He used to champ it. My wife used to work like 10 hours and leave him.
No shit.
Yeah, he champs it like a man. I don't know how he does it. That's just how he is, though.
Yeah.
Dude has the bladder, and I mean, if he does need to poop or pee, he just has that little puppy mat
Yep.
that he like will go on if it gets too bad. But he's never used it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. That dog was built by his mom to be an insane thing.
Yeah.
I will not be eating the most unhealthy thing I can find because, unfortunately,
Oh, Con
I'm
went
too
to
big.
Hershey Park on Sunday. Hershey
I
Park's
know.
still good?
I was very jealous.
Is Hershey Park
Kings
still
Island Con. He says it is.
good? I haven't
and
been. I
believe
haven't
him.
been back to Hershey Park in like it's been.
I believe him.
I want to say 2. No, it's probably been like 3 years, 3, 4 years. I mean, I'm there unironically, every year for Christmas. We go up and like drive by or go to like the Hershey outlets, which are right next to the park there, or we go up to the casino, which is like not too far down the road from Hershey. But we're there all the time. But I haven't actually like been to Hershey Park and like gone in, rode the roller coasters and everything since like a year or two after Sky Rush was built. So
That makes sense.
yeah, Sky
That
Rush is a
actually
good
would
coaster.
sound pretty awesome.
I love Hershey Park. I think it's great. And the
Dude,
best
going
deal,
there as a family like regularly sounds so fun.
Oh, but dude, the best deal, like this was always our secret whenever we went, because I had season passes when we were in high school. So we'd go like, I don't know, parents would drop you off. You go spend like every other day, or not every other day, like 1 day a week, like every other week. And the best deal there is like right in the middle of the park, between like where the water park is, closer to Fahrenheit for those that have ever been to Hershey Park. There's I think it's Familia Pizza or whatever it is. All the food in Hershey Park is stupidly expensive, as it is in every theme park ever.
Yep.
But if you split a pizza between like 4 like teenagers, that's 2 slices of pizza for you, which are fairly big, for like $5 a person. That's a steal. That's a fun, dude. We go there, we'd eat so much pizza. Get pizza and garlic knots or like garlic breadsticks, like $30. Split it amongst 4 people.
not a bad deal.
Dude, you were chilling. But if you do go and try and buy a solo meal elsewhere, it was like $20. I was like, dude, what is this shit? 30.
It actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
Do you know Disney is one of the cheapest theme parks?
Well, I
It's
know it.
so
I
weird.
know it is for
Food.
me.
Like for everything else to get in the door, incredibly expensive. But for food, it's one of the cheaper ones. It blows me away every time I hear that.
I mean, it helped that mine was discounted. I
Yeah.
ate around the world for a reason. Everybody else does drink around the world. Me, I'm like, bro, this is great. Give me something from every fucking country. I was waiting for Germany. That German bratwurst was calling my name.
Yep.
Bratwurst and sauerkraut. Oh, it was good. Fucking Norwegian. I had some
I
dessert
hate
thing.
sauerkraut.
Oh, dude, sauerkraut's so good.
It gets me.
In France, I had a
I'm locked
ham and cheese croissant. It was great.
My goal is to have every coaster done by like noon. Park opens at 10. But I have read online that like most of them don't open right at 10.
At Epcot?
No, at this theme park I'm going to. Kings Island.
Oh,
I'm going to Kings
okay,
Island.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere
I was about
crazy.
to say, what the fuck? How the
In Epcot, that would be so easy. I'd walk in the door and ride Guardians. I'm done. Literally done. That's
That's
the only
not every
coaster.
ride,
I
brother.
said coasters. I said coaster.
You're not. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
no,
want every
no,
coaster
you
done by
isn't,
noon.
No, Epcot also has Tron, sir.
No, Tron's of Magic Kingdom.
It is? The fuck? I thought it was in the
Come
ball
on,
at
man.
Epcot.
Don't even question my ball. Come on. You know better than to question my ball in this respect. If you want to call Test Track a coaster, I guess you could, but it's a simulator.
What the
of a
fuck?
car.
Yes, we have to include.
It's not a
Test Track.
coaster. It's a simulator of a car.
I don't care. That's still a coaster. That's like.
That's not a coaster, bro. It hits like 60 miles an hour as a car.
Do you count Rise of the Resistance as a coaster?
Rise of Resistance? No, it's not a coaster.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
It's a trackless ride. It has a drop at the end, which I think is very unique, but
You know what?
which unfortunately I just spoiled for everybody. That's the best part of the ride.
It is. But if they didn't know that by now, that's on them, in my opinion.
That's true.
You know what I'll say though? You can make fun of me all
I
you
wonder
fucking want.
if they call Test Track a coaster. Officially. Because I would bend the knee if they say it officially.
You want to know one thing you'll never.
Interesting.
You want to know one thing you don't got that I got, Mister Great
What?
at fucking Disney?
Yeah.
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 I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You see that little mouse right there?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Con, if you fly into the Cincinnati airport, I'll pick you up at 9:30 sharp. we can head over to Kings Island together. Just find yourself a red eye. Or to Kings Island.
I was about to
whatever
flex
I
in the
said.
ultimate way, but there's too much to cover. I was gonna pull up my actual paycheck and show you the fucking Disney.
Oh,
mouse,
yeah,
the mouse on my paycheck, and be like, yeah, fuck you. One
I have
one
a
of us.
pretty cool boss. Not in that way. I mean, in the way of like my overarching company. I think it's pretty cool.
The United States of America. Yeah.
That's a cool company.
It's something.
And I'm technically the Army, one of the oldest military branches. Whatever, don't matter.
You're
Please
National
win.
Guard.
That's
You're
all that
National
matters.
Guard, brother. Do I need to bring up National Guard right now?
The National Guard was actually the first thing ever formed. The Minutemen were the National Guard. There's a bit of military history for you. Fun fact, we're actually the coolest.
Dave can walk to the ESPN. Dave just hops in an elevator and goes to ESPN.
Yep.
I did find it interesting, and this is the one thing we can talk about with Disney, and then we'll end it here. Did you see that Good Morning America moved out of Times Square?
Really?
Yeah,
No, I did
moved
not.
out of Times Square. Officially came down to our office on in 7 Hudson Square.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. It's been interesting, like showing up to work as of late, and you see the lines of people like waiting for like studios or like studio space, and it's interesting. Like we're in an area that you wouldn't anticipate there to be a lot of like TV show tour stuff, but then again, like, well, no, because you can't say it because where ABC used to be on the Upper West Side, was like right next to Lincoln Center. So like you had the Lincoln Center crowd that would always be there. And like it wasn't like this foreign thing, but like to show up for a show in our part of town is a little odd. It is a little bit weird. But I'm curious to see how they do. I'm curious to see what it looks like. I don't watch many morning shows unless I'm back home. So I'm going to check it out whenever I'm back with my parents this weekend see what it looks like.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
That's so weird. That's weird to leave New York.
Well, it didn't
Feels
leave
like-
New York. It just went downtown.
Oh, okay,
It left
my
Times
bad.
Square, which is like, Times Square is a staple, but like at the same time, it's like New York's obviously way more than just Times Square.
Okay.
But anyways, that's going to be it for us, folks. I don't really care to talk about the ARM changes. I don't pay too much attention to ARM, and I already talked about it on TikTok. There's really not much else I can say. I'm nearly Emerald in TFT. That's my claim to fame right
That's
now.
pretty big.
Yeah. Grinding my way up right now. But I like Knox's final question for you. I will end the stream immediately after you say it. Final score, Pacers, OKC tomorrow.
118 to 101.
Who wins?